snug her up, it's plenty good. And what we'll do is we're going to spin this around here and we're going to do the other side. Same basic way. You're going to have to thread your screw through. When it starts getting through, have your link ready to slide over it, otherwise you won't get it on there. Just like so. When you see the screw start to poke through the ball joint, like that, just enough, go ahead and grab a nut. Go ahead and thread that on. We'll take our pliers, get a hold of that. Run that one tight. Okay, the upper links are attached. Now the easiest way to do this for the bottoms is to flip this over to show you. You can let the shocks hang for now. Drive shaft you can actually take and just flop down. Okay. The bottom links actually go into the skid plate, like so. Get this wire out of the way, we'll have to work with that later. Take the regular cup head screw that goes in from the side. It's actually just thread right into the plastic, so let's spin this a little bit easier here for me to get at it. That link goes into that slot in the bottom. It's a triangulated link setup, which is really nice, and I'm hoping they started doing this same plate with the comp crawlers, or the X10 kits. The triangulated link setup is really proven to be a good all-around baseline link setup. Got good geometry. So we'll run this one in all the way. Don't worry about the big head on that screw because it's going to disappear right inside that plastic just like that. Okay, we'll flip back around here to the other side. Get our drive shaft up and out of the way here and get our shock uncut. Get that in there like so. Grab another bolt. Oop. And we'll run that one through. Until we can't see the head anymore of the bolt. Good and snug. Okay, so we have the top links mounted and the upper and lower links mounted. What we're going to do next is actually, because I don't want this flopping all over the place, we're going to mount up the drive shaft. That is part of this step. I'm actually going to finish the front and then go and do the rear assembly all together. Grab your grub screw for the drive shaft. The reason I'm going to do this all in one shot with the shocks and everything, I'm going to kind of jump a step, is because otherwise what ends up happening is your suspension's flopping all over the place, your drive shaft will keep pulling out of itself. It's just kind of a pain, so I like to button up one end and then go to the other end. Run your grub screw in. On the output shaft of the transmission. Okay, now basically what we're going to do is we're going to jump ahead to step 35 for the front shock mounting. Grab the pan head self-tapping screws, and you're going to need two of those, two of the aluminum spacers. Like I say, the reason I'm doing this, why I'm jumping ahead on this, is because I don't like having this all flopping around loose when I'm trying to mount the back stuff up. It just does not work. I like this route a little bit better. Easier to deal with. Okay, screw, shim, mount. So grab your shock. Aluminum shim goes on the outside. Shock mount. There's three positions. Stock suggestion is dead center, middle hole on that front mount. So that's where we're going to put that one. Something you can play with for tuning purposes later. Adjust it where you want it. Reservoir facing forward. We'll go to the other side here. Lift this bad boy up. Screw, aluminum spacer, center hole on the shock tower. We'll run that one in. There. Now we don't have the front end flopping all over the place and getting all tangled up and drive shaft keeps falling out type of deal. We are pretty much secure. Everything's mounted up. There's your articulation. There's your up and down, right and left. And the drive shaft is secured to the motor, or the transmission. Okay, so we'll go back to the back now. And we'll grab the rear assembly. Go through the same steps. Basically, get her back up on our blocks here. And we'll mount up the lower links first. And then we'll do the lowers and then the shocks. I'll get this mounted up and we'll come back. Okay, I'm just finishing up the lower links on the rear. The uppers are secured. Same steps as the front, so you didn't miss out on anything important there really. Get the last one installed here. Yeah, as I said before, this, if you've built an X10 Scorpion, building this isn't going to be much more difficult. I mean, it's pretty much the same skill level required for it. If you've never built one of the axial kits before, just take your time, look things over. They are fairly simple to do. Very good quality kits. Parts are of good quality. We'll get the drive shaft grub screw for this one. I highly recommend these kits for anybody that wants to get into crawling or even wants to get into competition rock crawling or the scale stuff. They're a great way to do it. Everything in one package basically that you're going to need other than the electronics and the motor. You can get the axial RTR kit that has everything. You can get the ARTR comp crawler kit, basically a crawler kit that's almost pretty much comp ready. There's a few ways you can do it. Okay, we gotta pop a ball joint out here and put her back in the other way. I got one in backwards here in the back. Easiest way to do this is just to grab a hold of them and they're plastic, so they come out fairly easy, just like this.